Get the motor going. Draw. It's clean, nasty.
To the 20, to the 15, to the 10. He's got to step over the 5 and he's in.
What's up, everybody? We back with another episode of the 49ers Round Check, man. Let's go with my guy, Terradone, and my OG from another OG 49er Gang podcast, Dion, bro. What's going on?
What's going on? What's going on, everybody? How we feeling today?
It's doing so well,
Feeling
bro.
good.
Hey,
Really good. How's everybody out there?
I like that
Absolutely,
hat,
bro.
TD.
It's been quiet,
Yeah, yeah.
There isn't quite too much to talk about, but hey, everybody's saying, are we getting sleep on, man? Are they sleeping
Thank
on
you.
us?
I wouldn't go that far. I'm hearing around the league just the casual fan and some of the diehards and everything. They say, yeah, y'all was all right, but y'all, it is what it is. It's kind of it's lukewarm. It used to be, oh, we know y'all. The 49ers, we know y'all coming with it this, back in the day, 2-3 years ago, it was clearly understood. Besides Rams fans just always hating that because that's all they do. Dogs bark, cats meow, and Rams fans hate. Everybody else had a pretty good affinity for the 49ers, but we got a little bit to redeem after that 6-11 season, and we had some key injuries, and a lot of people understand that. But I wouldn't go as far as say slept on.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like,
it's all your threshold of sleeping, I guess.
yeah, like, oh, we're coming off injuries. We're losing some players. I mean, our guys are left, but what other players have left, bro? What have we lost?
What's going on, Tommy? You crazy? You crazy? He in the chat always going
Tommy in the mix.
Come on, Tommy.
Tommy, that's all right, man. Tommy's my guy. He's just, he just knows Tommy knows his Giants suck. That's all.
Okay, you gotta go there.
He get mad because he mad about my Dodgers being
yes,
champs.
Dodgers.
Just so you know, Tommy, remember that we the champs. You not, okay? Just like the Usos.
Shout out to Clubber Lane.
We the one. But I don't think anybody's sleeping on the 49ers at all. I do believe that everybody is seeing that we've had to do a reset, on the roster. Had a lot of turnover, especially on defense. You know what I mean? Well, look, Tommy, that's the playoffs ain't started, sir. Playoffs don't start until October. We are in June. So, you want to try to go ahead and be like, hey, we're technically in the playoffs. You can technically be in anything.
Technically.
Today, do you raise that World Series trophy? You didn't. Sorry. Sidebar. Anyway, I doubt anybody's sleeping on the 49ers. I think it's more so, hey, they reset. If anything, they're probably looking and going, okay, now we might need to be a little worried about the defense. Why? Because Salah is back. And then you have the creator of our defense and Gus Bradley actually in the building with him to be able to assist, with running the defense and whatnot. I wouldn't say slept on. I might say maybe a little overlooked only because of all of the turnover that we've had on the roster. Literally, think about it. Ricky Pearsall didn't do anything because he had a hamstring injury. BA is still recovering, even though, John Lynch is, as he always says, encouraged, which drives me insane, I can't stand when he says that because it just doesn't make any sense. But he's encouraged by Brandon Ayuk's progress with his injury. But I don't think we see Brandon Ayuk until probably at least week 4 through 8 at a bare minimum. He's definitely starting on the PUP list. He's not going to be out there. So your starters are Jawan Jennings and Ricky Pearsall. Demarcus Robinson is definitely going to get suspended by the league, so you won't have him out there. That's another.
What's the suspension for? They keep saying he's
the DUI.
Yes, there you go. DUI. Violated
something with a DUI because he was supposed to face a suspension with the Rams, but they let that slide.
Yep.
Did he hit somebody? He didn't kill anybody.
No. He didn't pull a Henry Ruggs. No, he didn't pull a Henry Ruggs. Who, by the way, was actually trying to get back into the league. Question. But for us, I think that's it. It might be a little overlooked only because of all of the turnover we had on the roster, especially once again on the defensive side. And, losing Aaron Banks as our left guard. I know a lot of people may or may not have liked him, but at the end of the day, he is definitely, doing all right next to the old silver back there. I'm not mad at that. And I think that's all. Just overlooked, but I slept on.
I think our screen tackle will either be Austin Pleasant so far.
Quite possibly. I think it's going to either be Pleasant or Burford. I know that Burford has been working out with Trent a lot. He even stated that himself. So I think probably it'll most likely be a situation where he might even be the either swing tackle or the backup left tackle. We all know Kyle loves
looking to be backup left tackle. Yeah, man.
They've
been getting down for years. My cousin, he's down there in Texas, man, and they all Trent offers his home up for a camp for tackles, incoming guys, and Spencer Burford's been taking place with that for I think they better have 4 years since even a rookie.
And the beauty of that is like to learn from somebody with that kind of skill is great.
Who better?
Like why wouldn't you? I mean, I wouldn't be mad if Trent Williams, when he retired, became an offensive line coach. Why? He understands. He knows what he's doing. The man was great for years. One thing that he did say, I can't deal with Tommy right now. The one thing that he did say, though.
Well, to be honest with you, Brendel did play at UCLA, so maybe he was your favorite player.
Hey, look, I told you that's the only good thing about him. He went to UCLA. Other than that, that's about as good as it gets.
The first Bruin down range, ladies and gentlemen. We're 7 minutes and 58 seconds.
The Bruin players are pretty good, but it's just him. I don't know why he just doesn't play.
Yeah, no, Jake wasn't. Nah, but one thing that did alarm me about Trenton, I want to get you guys' thoughts on this, was he talked about the depression of losing a Super Bowl.
It's there, dude. It's there. It's with every. It's every. It takes. I liken it to this. In the big heavyweight bout, you lose more energy when you swing and miss than you do when you connect. It's more demoralizing to the mind, and it takes more out of you to decelerate, stop, and protect than it does to just really catch one flush. And it depresses it depresses us as fans. We still will get on here and argue about who fault it was. So I know daggone well as a player, when you laid it all on the line, heart and soul, and been on that turf inside the, as they say, the squared circle for them 60 minutes, and you came up short on overtime. It was more than 60 minutes. It was 60 plus minutes, and you had them on the ropes, 10 points down, and lo and behold, you come away with 0 on that. Man, I ain't want to get out of bed. I went down to Miami when we lost that first one with Kyle, the first one, and I didn't get out of bed for about 2 or 3 days, man. I that thing just it hurt me. It felt like I had an expensive funeral to pay for. I was in mourning for a little bit, and it carried over to the next year. That's why that Super Bowl loser usually doesn't even make the playoffs or don't even sniff that next year. It hurts, man. It hurts.
And for me, like, I technically, actually, no, I take that back. I've only been alive for, what do we now have? We have, 7 appearances? Or
8.
8. So I've only been alive for 7. I was literally a baby. I was born right after we won our first one. So I didn't get to see that. But
Pontiac Silverdome.
Yeah. But that for me is really hard because I watched all of that greatness, and then to see us just, start, we started out 5-0, we 0-3. First team to ever get to 5. And now we 0-3, and we can't get over that hump. And the thing that I worry about, and I'm just going to be honest about this, are we wasting some of our prime players' time? Are we wasting Fred Warner's career? Are we wasting Nick Bosa's time? Are we wasting the Silverbacks' time? We keep getting there, but we can't get over the hump. And I'm gonna address this because this is going on my channel as well. I got a dude on Twitter who does not like me, and he continually tries to say that I'm in my feelings whenever I talk about Kyle Shanahan. There's
a lot of talent that we have, but we just, I don't know, Kyle just can't get over the hump. That's the problem.
And the issue with this person, which I'm not going to say the name because I'm not going to give you that kind of.
Don't give him that. Yeah, don't give him the platform.
But
all right, let's just answer this question. Yeah. Since everybody's kind of like complaining about our offensive line, does this feel underrated, or do you think it's kind of like what it is, bro? Like, I think we're already accepting it how it is.
The odd thing about our offensive line is for some reason they seem to always score very high. As far as like PFF is concerned, it's still with this ragtag group of dudes, we always find a way to look good. I think this year will be very telling if we see that there's a changing of the guard at left guard and at center. I can tell you right now, at a bare minimum, those are the only 2 spots that you will see any change at. No one is going to take Colton McKivitt's spot. He has right tackle automatically locked down. No one's moving Dominic Pooney off right guard. He's going to stay there. No one's moving the Silverback out of left tackle spot. He's going to stay there. But the left guard and the center are, places that we as fans, or a good majority of us, would love to, see some competition at a bare minimum. I do hope that they allow Matt Hennessy to go out there and take something because, according to Chris Forrester and Kyle Shanahan, Jake Brendel was the greatest thing since sliced bread, which I don't know how you watch the tape. But that's their feelings.
That's ambitious. That's ambitious.
This is them literally on camera praising Jake Brendel as if he is great. And to be honest with you, we only had since this regime has been here, we only had one center I had faith in, and the man just couldn't stay healthy. And he retired early and did us a solid and saved us some money, and that was Weston Richburg. I think if Richburg would have been healthy, that man would have been great. But he just
Alex Mack was okay back in Harbaugh day.
Bad, but he was the issue was he was at the end of his rope.
He was at the end of his career anyway.
He's at the end of his career, so it wasn't no time. So I think honestly the line, as it's presently constructed, I would like to see once again movement at the left guard and center spot. Just to clarify that, the left guard spot is pretty much open. Everybody has Ben Barch penciled in, but TD, if I'm not mistaken, was the one who let us know Ben Barch came about 2 games. Next thing you know, he out for the next 6.
He do.
Yeah, Ben Barch
the best ability is availability, and Ben Barch he'll give you a game and a half. And that's just the pattern. Maybe it's all going to change.
A game and a half.
He'll give you a game and a half. But then
Connor Colby, I think he's more of a project right now. But Nick Zakelj, maybe he's in the mix.
I don't really know about Zakelj. My reasoning is we ain't seen the dude crack the roster. He's been up on game days, but that's only due to injury. And when I say crack the roster, I mean get on the field and actually be on the field
Yes.
consistently. Like
Yeah.
we had like the one thing that is crazy to me, and I understand that offensive linemen are very, very hard to find. How you gonna pay Jalen Moore all that money? That man ain't showed you enough to get that kind of bread.
Hey
But
man,
because offensive linemen are so scarce, you gotta overpay.
talked
for a
about-
dude
I-
that has barely
I hit
enough
that exact
to-
point today. I think this is my theory. This is my overall theory, because I talked about that today, and I was like, maybe we need to. I know we have a standard. We want our offensive line to be coming off like the mob. We wanted to be Philadelphia. We wanted to be the number one dominant offensive
Like the
line.
Bullies.
We want an Anthony Munoz. We want the great centers of the day.
We want the Larry Allens in the world.
we want
the Jesse
we want
Cebollos.
Stepnowski
Kevin
and all of
Gogans,
that
man.
good stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah, but as the collective bargaining has taken place, there is less film study, less individual drills, and less hitting in the National Football League now. And judging from the point you just talked about, how we got people like Aaron Banks getting the bag, Jalen
Moore.
Brown, Jalen Moore going getting the bag, McKivitz going getting the bag. We got to look at, maybe it's just the quality of offensive line is not what it used to be in the National Football League, and to be considered pretty good for our standards, which what we have seen on the field, it might not be that. In other words, we got to kind of grade it on a curve. Maybe we a little bit more all right than we think. I think, if that's
Yeah.
something to toss around, because it's a couple people with the hot take this year, and I ain't gonna say any name. No, I'm gonna throw one name out there: John Chapman and Dietz. I was checking them out on Larry Krueger. They said this is a hot take now. This is a hot take. 49ers going to have a top 5 offensive line.
They are like top 5 offensive line. They better do, but
That is the hottest take of all.
Bold prediction, hot take. They're saying that, and I'd like to see it. I would not turn it down. I would not turn it down. It's like Tony Braxton naked. I can't turn that down.
Hey, man, I don't got nothing
Hey,
against
look,
Colt
Jason-
McKivitz. I think he kind of shows that he's not that bad. But when you look at Brendo, it's like, God, dude, why is he even still playing? That's the only one I have a problem
Jason,
with.
I like the picture there, man. That's a cool little graphic you got there.
It is.
I mean, McKivitz is he's not that bad.
Jason be doing stuff, man. I see it. That
Cole,
is cool.
okay, here's my thing with Cole. I know there's better out there. That's my issue. I know there's someone better, and that's the difference. Like, don't get me wrong. It's very hard to find a left and or right tackle. I just know that there are people that are better than him that can do the job in a better manner. Now, this last year, yes, he did a little bit better, but I mean, we still had a very down year. So when I'm looking at our offensive line, it's still a place that a lot of us as fans feel we can improve on. The defensive line is revamped. You know what I mean? We're going to have to see how that plays out. So the reason that I have my cautious optimism is because for me, it's a situation of it's wait and see. I don't know what we're going to be. We had a lot of turnover, and we have to see if these guys gel when they get on the field, what they do, how they move. You know what I'm saying? Trent going from having Aaron Banks to his right consistently, that left guard is going to have to start understanding what Trent does, where he steps, how he moves, all of those things. So the complete gelling of the line must be done throughout training camp and preseason, you know what I'm saying, to be able to make sure, they will. And
They're going to cost a lot.
We don't pay anybody on the offensive line outside of Trent Williams. So
we don't draft high on offensive line either. So it's like we really
don't.
No.
Yeah, it's not a thing.
Mooney was a 3rd rounder. And just this
round
past
tackle,
draft,
I think Banks was the highest we drafted so far. Well,
he was a 2nd round pick.
It was McGlinchey.
McGlinchey.
Oh yeah,
Because he
McGlinchey was the
was
highest
first
pick, but he was only a good run blocker at best.
Now
but
I do. Before we get to this next topic, I do want to say something. Shout out to the man Wayne Breezy. You know what I'm saying? That's my brother from another mother.
Yeah, man.
But he had a caption on the video that said, "Does the 49ers dynasty begin now?" And here's my thing. For you to have any kind of dynasty in any kind of sports, you have to have consistency. You also got to finish the job.
Yeah.
We can't talk about a dynasty when we don't have the consistency and or have we finished the job. So if you look at it, it's very simple. 2017, 2018, garbage. 2019, Super Bowl loss. 2020, we all would love to forget that year. We had the most money
Off
sitting
your
on the
COVID
bench.
year.
Yeah. So 2021, 2022, and 2023, we were in the NFC Championship game and or the Super Bowl. After that,
We were
we
contending
fall
every
right
year.
off. But we lost the Super Bowl again.
Yep.
And the thing is when you're creating a dynasty, there must be championships won.
You gotta win the chips.
And you got to be able to, the dynasty right now, and if you want to talk about dynasty in the league, it's Kansas City.
It is.
It is.
Kyle's
Why?
been fumbling.
They
a
are
lot, man.
consistently
He's been
in
fumbling.
the Super Bowl every damn year. Whether they win or lose, they are there. If they're not there, they're in the AFC Championship game. The only time they lost was when Joe Burrow had a team good enough to be able to get them close enough to him so he could beat them. Because Joe Burrow is the only quarterback in the AFC that seems to know how to beat Patrick Mahomes when it comes to the playoffs. So
Yeah, he can beat him.
Wait. Whole caveat there. Caveat.
All right, let him see what he got.
Thomas Edward Patrick Brady sent Mahomes as home
That's
in the
his truth.
playoffs. No, in the playoffs, in the AFC Championship game. Tom beat Patrick Mahomes in the AFC Championship game. Patrick Mahomes' second season.
yeah, when he started.
Yes.
Yeah,
when
then
he was a
Brady beat
Patriot.
I
Mahomes.
forgot about
We
that.
beat him as a Patriot in the
And he beat him
playoffs,
as a Buck.
and he beat him in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. One more shot for my man that's on the book behind me.
Yes,
That's
sir.
the GOAT. That's the GOAT.
Oh, no.
Patrick
He is
Brady.
behind him.
Patrick Brady can never. I mean, Patrick Mahomes can never talk to one Tom Brady. Tom Brady done sent you home a couple times. I'll
Yeah.
leave it
So
at that.
for me, my
Tom
goat-
Brady's like your LeBron James.
My goat is our goat in Joe
He
Montana.
created the rules that
Which is that
quarterbacks
man's
can't
idol.
touch, bro.
Okay. Yeah, I don't
He-
believe me.
He was that
That's my
until
guy. That's Joe. Right there.
until he surpassed them 4 champs. I did the same thing with Michael Jordan. Magic Johnson was my guy. Magic Johnson.
Okay.
And when I would argue in those dorms, I said, Michael Jordan is all right. Michael Jordan is good. He can play, but until he get them 5 championships, he ain't the GOAT.
Ain't
He ain't the GOAT. And then Michaels went out and proceeded to get them 5 championships and
add one more.
and add one more on it. And I ain't got to say nothing. Joe Montana's my GOAT until Patrick Tom Brady get them 4 championship rings on his finger. He ain't my GOAT. He went right on out there and he said, guess what? Here it is. I'll get the 4 plus 3 more.
Not mad.
I ain't got nothing else to say. That my dude now.
That's
I mean, Brady played in a soft era where they protected him, dude. Like,
Man,
I kind of get it.
Brady was taking shots.
Brady didn't play. They didn't get soft, honestly,
They didn't
until
Well,
more
touching
recent.
quarterbacks
Until
nowadays, you
2000
can't touch a
well,
he,
quarterback
you
because
know,
Brady
he got the tough rule
Brady is
transfer.
getting reamed in his first 2 or 3 years. Brady, it is B-roll with Brady taking shots. Brady's back in that old school with
Oh yeah,
yeah.
You
yeah,
get
but
blasted.
then rules
Brady
started
done
becoming
played.
established because of him.
I will say this.
that one rule with they going at his knee as he's throwing. Yes,
Yeah,
that
Remember
one
when he
that
tore his
one there.
ACL, they made a rule where you couldn't touch the
Yeah,
quarterback
you
anymore?
can't. You ain't supposed to hit no
That
man.
was
Really?
because of him.
What,
Well, he
dude?
can't. No, that's true. That's true.
Well, dude,
Nah, dude,
you
like I don't have nothing against the guy.
that's
Brady is
real
established
safe-
every bit of
that's-
record you can talk about. Like
that's
everything in
true
general.
safe
but
CG,
need
but
to get
that's
soft.
just true safety, man. That's you can't go at people's legs like that, especially a quarterback. He's very, very vulnerable. You can't go at a punter like that. You can't. I see Trent Williams ruin a whole season because the great who was that safety that
But
played
those-
for him? That
the
played
game
with
was
the
a little different back then, where there wasn't rules like that. You can hit a quarterback like that, but now you have quarterbacks where you can't touch them, you can't hit them, where it's a
Now,
flag.
okay.
because of Brady, yes, there are some rules that have been implemented, but at the
Okay.
end of the day, I'll give Brady credit because he did play in that era where you could get your world rocked and they wouldn't throw a flag.
Yeah, and they
He
got
was
and he
legit.
he
Now,
got rocked.
were there
He
certain
got
things?
rocked.
Were there certain things addressed because of him? Yes, I'll give you that. But what I was going to say really quick about what Breezy, his title. I don't want Kyle Shanahan's dynasty to start now, because then that means I got to deal with this man for another 6, 7, 8 years.
Ah, man, you
That's
want
gonna
this
drive
guy
me out of
gone.
my mind.
Yeah.
Like I would literally go crazy if I see that he gets another extension without bringing us a damn Lombardi. I'm sorry.
Oh.
Like at some point, you have to start to understand that you need more and you need something to be finished. And for me, my biggest thing is you ain't finished the job. Now, I know a lot of people will say, well, hey, you're on the cusp. You're on the cusp. I don't care about being on the cusp. I don't want to be on the cusp of anything. Okay? You know who wants to be on the cusp? The Bears, the Browns, the Jags. They want to be on the cusp. You know why? They ain't got nothing. They ain't got no hardware. I think the Bears got what? 2? Maybe 3? I don't know.
What? Super Bowls?
Yeah.
Just one. 85 Bears.
Yeah. And that was back in 85
Yeah.
with that crazy defense and when Jim McMahon. And you feel so bad for Jim McMahon. That man is going through all kinds of stuff. He got beat up in ways you can't imagine. But what I'm saying is you can't, like, if you're telling me we're gonna start a dynasty now, why would we wait 8 years into someone's career to talk about those things? Like, I personally feel like if I wanted a dynasty, the only time we remotely were a dynasty was 21, 22, and 23. And now I say that very lightly. I can't even give that dynasty. That's the closest we ever got to it, because those were the 3 years of consistency. When you think about it, those are the only 3 years we actually had full-on consistency from this coaching staff and from everyone that was there.
Well, I think that's why he's saying that. That's why he's saying that, Deion. They would have to start right now. He ain't saying we're in the midst of one. It would have to start.
Kyle Shanahan for several more years.
My reception was killing me, bro.
It ain't. I mean, that ain't the what is it? The object of the exercise. It's just that it would have to start. The 49ers would have to start a dynasty right now, because it would take a win. The win has to begin the dynasty. But if you're looking at it like, hey, if we can't do it with Kyle Shanahan, then sorry. It can begin.
Yeah, the thing is you're telling me that this dude is magically just going to turn around and figure it out when he's been to the mountaintop 3 times and still ain't figured it out? That doesn't lead me to have any. I know we're called the faithful, but I don't have faith in him. I'm sorry. You've shown me. The only thing you've shown me is that you cannot finish the job. I'll give you a little side story. Buddy of mine, very, very faithful man, very, very into God. Was dealing with a female, you know what I'm saying? Okay. And he said, you speak very matter-of-factly, as if these things is what you know. But have you ever taken a step back and broaden your spectrum of what things have occurred to be able to bring you to the spot that you are currently in? In that moment, I had to reflect. When I reflected, I started to find the inconsistencies. So then I understood why I was in the position I was in. Yeah. Here's the difference. I got a head coach who don't know how to do that. He doesn't know how to reflect and turn it around. See, when you have 4 good seasons and 4 bad seasons, when you have a record in the regular season as the worst head coach that we have ever had, And this is once again, people. You can say what you want. These are all facts. You can look it up if you don't believe me. This is the truth.
Tom Sula had a worse winning percentage than
And-
anybody
Tom
else.
Sula, bro, he was the best conference he had was
Kyle
Friday, bro.
Shanahan, I'm gonna tell you right now, Kyle Shanahan could go elsewhere, and I guarantee you, he wouldn't win a thing.
Dude,
I'm
Kyle
sorry.
Shanahan's press
That's
conference,
speculation.
he's all gray. He looks
That's
like a
speculation.
baseball manager, bro.
It's when you get in your own way in the biggest game of your life twice, that doesn't help you.
Technically 3 times if you count his offensive
Exactly.
coordinator position with the Falcons.
But I'm just gonna talk about strictly that. And see, I
But
don't.
at least you can get there, have a 10-point lead,
But we got to
And-
finish.
and anything is possible if you in the mix. It's like being a golfer. Phil Mickelson played some of the most wonderful golf that you can ever play. He's going to Hall of Fame. He's great.
Oh,
But
guaranteed.
too many times he was on Sunday against that boy in red, and that boy in red was he just had it. He was just ridiculous, and he couldn't close the deal a lot of times. But eventually, Phil Mickelson got his major, and he got another one, and he got another one. We got to look at these second place wins to get to a Super Bowl, to get the lead against the great Patrick Mahomes in the fourth quarter. You got to say you putting yourself in Augusta, coming down the back 9 on Sunday. You just got to figure a way to do it. You got to
Finish it.
figure a way to do it. You got to finish it some kind of. I know you're going against their monster, and everybody believes in him, everybody loves him, but somehow, some way, your special teams got to get a little better. Your defense got to get a little better. You got to get a little bit better with your play call and play selection. Somehow figure this out. And the only way you could do it is continue to climb all the way up Mount Kilimanjaro, get to the summit, and see how we get up to the top on the horizon.
Well,
That's all we got.
But every time we get to the playoffs, we always win 2 damn playoff games. That's the weird part. And we
And
end
they
up
can be
winning.
on the
I'll
road
give
too,
them that, like,
CG. They can
When
be
he
on the
gets in-
road.
when he
They can
gets
be at
into the
home.
playoffs, because I think honestly, when he gets into the playoffs, he's never short of an NFC Championship game. That much,
Yeah.
But if we get
Yeah,
a
he
first round
never
bye,
scored
we're
of that.
guaranteed a Super Bowl ticket.
But
I done
here's
seen the
the
first
thing.
round. I done seen us be wild card and win a couple with Kyle. He gets
will
there,
get-
man.
He'll get you there. Here's the thing. When Briscoe, what you're talking about, when you're saying you want Kyle to win here and not go somewhere else and win like Andy Reid did, it took Andy Reid forever when he went
Andy
somewhere
Reid
else.
doing the same
win.
thing.
Andy Reid
You know
was there
what
for
the
many
Eagles-
years.
Andrew Reid was going to NFC Championship after NFC Championship,
And-
went to a Super Bowl with T.O., lost that, and the Eagles said to them, "Hey, man, we
Silverado
just
Kid.
ain't taking no more. You good, you great, but you're gonna have to go somewhere else." He figured it out with the great Patrick Mahomes, and the rest
what-
is history. Now
but what
he's
happened-
considered the best in the NFL, bar
Yeah,
none.
but what happened before he figured out with Patrick Mahomes? The Eagles won the dang championship with Doug Peterson, did they
They
not?
did, yeah.
So,
I'm not
If
dismissing
you're
your
telling-
argument.
if you-
Now
if
they're
you're telling me
winning with a
that-
different head coach.
Yeah.
too. So
Yeah, but so
Sirianni's the
ba-
most cockiest head coach I've ever seen.
So based off of your comment there, Briscoe, we want Kyle to lead. Because with
10-point lead.
with what TD just articulated, that means somebody gonna come in here and bring us a ring before he even sees one. So if that's the case, and we can get to 6 before he get to 1, I'm with it. Bring whoever that person
Run
is
the damn ball.
and let's get it.
Yeah. Either you
Here's-
figure it out how to play with the lead, the momentum, and the possession, or get me somebody who knows how to figure it out with
Thank
the
you.
lead, possession, and got the
All we gotta
ball.
do is
Just
run the clock.
Here's
dude.
it. I got
Just
a better
use-
question. I got
use
a
your
better
clock.
question.
All right, ask it.
We gonna move off that because everybody know how I feel about Kyle
Oh
Shanahan.
yeah.
I-
Nobody
You got
ever
feeling
says.
on Kyle,
I
man.
wonder how Dion feel about Kyle. We know.
No, everybody knows I can't stand it. Here's the
Yeah,
thing.
You're gonna
I'm
strangle
gonna
that
say
guy.
this. And this is a question to y'all because y'all already know how I think. And I'm gonna start with you, CG. Do you believe that Kyle will actually go back to running back by committee, or at a bare minimum, limit the snaps of Christian McCaffrey.
I think he's gonna run him to the ground. Dude, it doesn't change because that's the guy he uses on his offense. I mean, does he really trust Guerrero? He's still kind of a work in progress. And he's going to want to give him some opportunities. But I think McCaffrey's the focal point. He's going to try to use him more.
I hope so.
I hope they limit the
I hope
touches
he
for him
does.
to be healthy,
I hope
especially in
him
the playoffs.
and the great Bobby Turner. I hope they all come to a consensus and get Christian McCaffrey to realize we're trying to preserve you a little bit. We're going to cut it from 25 carries down to 20 and give 5 here to Guerrero, 5 here to our new rookie, and it's going to be all right. But conventional wisdom says, history is best rewarder of our research, and Kyle is going to run it like it ain't no tomorrow. He gonna run him. Christian gonna have 700 carries this year.
I mean, with Guerrero, you're gonna get some big runs with this guy. You're gonna get some big chunk of plays.
Guerrero's our home run hitter. The man got the speed. Yeah. We saw it last year. We didn't know what's in there.
Away from a big run.
Here's
he got the speed. He got the speed, but he's not an instinctive. He's not an instinctive runner. He's not like a good running back has vision, like who might not have the speed prerequisite, like a Emmitt Smith, only ran 4.6, but has vision with peripheral vision and can see that hole, and he's slow to it, and then he's quick through it. And Guerrero don't necessarily, he ain't come up running that rock from Little League and Pop Warner High School and stuff like that. Guerrero is a very, very incredible athlete. And
he's a good athlete, yeah.
He run to that hole where it's supposed to be. He'll run up your back. Also, I seen in the Tampa Bay game, there's B-roll with Guerrero not necessarily picking up a block the way it was supposed to, and Trent Williams looking over to that sideline said, "Get his ass out of here! Bring dude back in, because we in the red zone and we blew that play, and it was Guerrero. Get him out." And so they say, yes, sir, Mr. Williams. Yes, sir, Mr. Williams.
Here's my thing. I got to agree with CG. Conventional wisdom. And, what you just said says he's going to run him into the ground. Now, listen to me. People out there, I understand who CMC is, what he brings to the table. And I get it. But I can tell you right now, in both of our Super Bowls, we could have won if Kyle would have just done things differently. I'm going to tell you exactly how we win. The first Super Bowl against Patrick Mahomes, the easiest thing we could have done just to win?
Run the ball.
Keep him off the field.
Get comfortable and run the ball.
Keep him off the field. Keep him off
the
field. We're running.
Close the games, dude. It could have killed.
We were running
on the clock at least.
And particularly when we were running for 6.1 a carry. Your running games really worked.
Debo had one of his best carries in that.
Debo was running the rock. Everybody by committee. Again, that word. Running back by committee. Everybody's getting a piece. Everybody's doing something, man. But Kyle says, nope. This time we're gonna make Jimmy Garoppolo the MVP, and we're gonna throw it. We get to the next Super Bowl. Hey, the running game is a little stifled. It is, but still, you commit to it. You take Nick Sirianni's mixture of run to pass. Nick Sirianni ran that thing 45 times and only threw it 22. That is how you keep the premier and best quarterback in the National Football League on the sideline, and you just look at Mr. Clock is on your. What's that song they used to sing? Time is on my side. Yes, it is.
Yeah, so here's my thing for that. It's very simple. You run the ball, and the number one thing, you don't get comfortable against Patrick Mahomes. I've said this before. I will say it again, and I will die on this hill.
Yeah, man.
Patrick Mahomes in 2019 spent every playoff game doing what? Coming from
back
behind. people were beating the brakes
Yeah.
off the Chiefs all
17
playoff
points.
long.
Houston
And I
had
And
know-
it.
he's even played through a bad leg too in that
Yeah.
Super Bowl.
And,
Yeah,
and
man.
here's my thing. Kyle Shanahan is too intelligent not to have known what was happening in the AFC. You ain't preparing that much that you don't pay attention to what's going on the other side because you got to start thinking about who you're going to face. And if you realize that man at any point, no matter how far you're up, keeps coming back, you know what you do? I put my foot on the gas and I go until I can't go no more. In 2023, you know what you could have done? You had a healthy Elijah Mitchell, which is rare
Yeah.
in and of itself.
Oh, right. Yeah. Talk about availability.
He'll be
Elijah
healthy,
Mitchell.
just-
Elijah
that was-
Mitchell. Going, you
I
know,
was like, wait a minute, what?
yeah.
You had a healthy Jordan Mason. If I'm Kyle, you know what I would have done? Very simply put, I'm running all three of them down your throat. You ain't gonna know who's coming at you. You gonna think it's Christian, but it's gonna be Elijah. You gonna think it's Elijah, but it's Jordan. I'm running all three of these dudes down your throat. And you know what Elijah Mitchell did when he came in the game? He only did what he always does, average 6 yards a damn carry. And you would have had a good time to be able to. You would have at least spelled Christian McCaffrey because people forget Christian McCaffrey went into that Super Bowl with a bum calf. He was consistently being treated on the sidelines when he was not on the field.
Facts.
That would tell you conventional wisdom says I have two other backs. I know what I got in Elijah.
I should
I
play
know
him.
what I got in Jordan. Why would I not put those people in
He
here
blundered.
to be able to supplement and then say, hey, okay, now
blundered.
I'm
He
running
blundered.
this play, Christian, get in there.
The only thing I could think of, with the argument made, the only thing I can think of, and you said put your foot on the gas. I think Kyle was obsessed with the points versus playing defense. And what I mean by that is he knew the capability of Patrick Mahomes to come back. He wanted to stretch it and put some more points and pad it in between. So that's why he was throwing that ball. But there is a different way of playing defense by playing offense, and it is time of possession, and it is running the football and getting the clock down. When you have a run play, it's a 40-second clock. You have a run play. You average play takes 6 seconds. You out, and then the clock starts again. But that play clock keeps on going. It keeps on going. That's 3 or 4 run plays is 2 minutes off the clock. 3 incompletions is 18 seconds. You dealing with a plus or minus of at least 3 minutes and 48 seconds left when you do that. And
Or if nobody was open,
guy,
just try to run on the play, man.
Hey,
You kill
man,
one.
it
and
just-
you're giving them more opportunity to come. If you keep on giving a gambler the dice, he gonna roll some sevens.
Oh, eventually.
He
He
gonna-
Eventually,
gonna-
it's going to come to
he
them
gonna hit-
because
he gonna
we
hit some
had
sevens.
everything locked in the bag. We had everything
Yeah.
locked. It's just we kept doing this little quick stuff, and it was ridiculous. But this is what Silverado Kev said. Yeah, I think
That's my man.
offensive
Shout out
line-
Silverado Kev.
Of course.
Yeah,
Shout
no,
out to
he
the
ain't
Red
lying.
Talk 9
Dude,
o'clock
need
crew.
them
We ain't
big
seen
dogs,
y'all
dude.
in a minute, but we know y'all to be back when the season
You know,
hit.
Dude, we need them big dogs.
and
them
you better
big
have
dog
me
kinda
on, too.
offensive linemen. Like the Philadelphia Eagles, bro. They got them big boys. We need one of them dudes.
Yeah, we
Like,
just gotta invest.
There
We
is
gotta
an
invest.
SOB available, bro, by the name of Will Hernandez, bro. We can go get this guy to go
Hey,
play
look,
guard.
man, I told you. Look, there are some people in the league that you can appreciate. Will Hernandez as well is a vet too. He is a military vet, if I'm not mistaken.
Wow.
So you gotta love that. And for me, on a positive note, like what I heard about Jordan Watkins, I heard nothing but good things coming out of training camp about
Yes,
him.
sir.
He seems to be doing
Look
very
for
well.
them, dude.
Yeah.
And that makes me happy. I'm very
Yes,
sad that my guy Junior Burgeon, I haven't heard good things about him. Heard he's been struggling out there, but hopefully that works.
Yeah, we bring you in for punt return, and you juggling punts and stuff like that.
Can be
You gotta
fumbling
get
it.
better. I am gonna say this, and and he know he my dog, and he can talk to me on the side. He can talk to me on my show, if anything. Breezy, you out of your damn mind if you think Trent Taylor is making this team. I need you to stop, sir. Trent Taylor ain't worth a dime. I love you, Breezy, but no. Trent Taylor's trash, and you know he's trash. I love you.
Trent Taylor's always been a likable player.
But they love him.
Brother, but I would tell you right now, don't you ever get on another screen, my dog, and say that Trent Taylor's doing anything. He is
Dion, they love him. They love him, man. They love him. They will bring some Trent Taylor in. They keep bringing him back. They love him. He just stick like glue. He just that old shoe that you never
doing these
throw
buddy
away.
discounts, man.
You don't have them slippers you don't get rid of. And he's that.
TD, you don't remember this player? Crap. What is his name? CG, you gonna know who I'm talking about too.
Defensive back.
Dante.
Yeah. Couldn't get rid of him.
That man was
Dante Johnson was one of those guys that just couldn't get out.
He
was like one of them dudes.
Yeah, couldn't get rid of him.
No.
And
remember Jimmy Ward was the original guy that we couldn't get rid of.
That's Trent Taylor. He's dude just can't get rid of him.
Can't get rid of him. He's gonna be there.
But hey, who was the original before Jimmy Ward?
Yeah, exactly. some guys stick to the team, man.
Yeah, Briscoe.
Oh man,
yeah, I like that one. Well, actually, you know what? I'll tell you this. He can't even do that because right now BA's holding that down. Because Brandon Ayuk is there with Leonard Hankerson coaching up these young wide receivers.
Yeah.
And I'm not mad at that. That's a good thing. Because what you do is you give your knowledge to these young cats. You have to bring them along. You can't hold the game in. You got to be able to give it to the next person to be able to make it happen. But the other thing I like, I've heard a lot of good things. We signed CJ West, gave him a 4-year deal. I believe it was $5.8 million, if I'm not mistaken. One thing I like about CJ West, number one thing I like, man's on the field. He's on the field.
Pushes.
And that's all I care about.
And they signed CJ, but I think that's I'm segueing into our next topic. They signed CJ West, but we still got one out there. I think Alfred Collins. I didn't hear about him being signed.
I have not heard about him being signed yet. But along
what's the holdup, bro?
Now here's the thing. I'm gonna throw out something wild.
Might be language.
Lots of people in the sports commentating world are trying to link us to Shemar Stewart.
I see that.
They are saying
he is
that the man
disgruntled.
just wants to get a deal done.
Yeah.
And get on the field and play for a team. And we have a big, massive human being, in Alfred Collins, who's standing on the sideline because he's injured. And
he's dealing with
and you're not, because the one thing about rookies is rookies come out, they practice, they do all that stuff, even when their deal isn't signed. So that has nothing to do with it. It's not about the deal for him to get on the field, because if he was ready to go, he'd have been on that field hearing Chris Kasserick with his, I still don't know how the man screams with no voice. But Chris Kasserick remind me of a drill sergeant. They just screaming.
Drill sergeant, dude, like my coach.
Coach Woods. Screaming, but it's like almost all the time he's losing his voice.
Yeah. It's called preacher throat. Yeah.
Okay.
Pause.
No,
yeah.
but Alfred Collins is a big body, but
after you done growled so long, it just it's now grizzled.
That drill sergeant, right?
Yeah, it done develop a cast.
Yeah, it's either
he's that Texas drill sergeant.
It's a raspiness.
It always be there.
It's like an old lady from New York who was smoking cigarettes all her life, and when you start talking to her, you're like, I don't know if this is a man or a woman. I'm not.
You develop some callus on that thing, so on the vocal cord. But now going with Shemar Moore, I'm glad you mentioned that. Shemar Moore play on SWAT. Shemar Stewart.
Shout out Light Skin Gang.
Shout out Light Skin.
My bad, man.
My bad. You good. Now, what's going on with Shemar Stewart is the verbiage in his contract is unacceptable for him because of when you sign. you're supposed to have guaranteed money over a period of time. And what they're saying is you can have a nullified year, be it as though you do something bad or being as though you may get injured or whatever. Usually you would void that year, and then everything else would be guaranteed. What the Bengals are trying to do is say, not only will we void that year, we'll void the subsequent years after that. And that is something. Then the money ain't guaranteed. So Shamar Stewart is like, no, man, we did. The Bengals are coming to him. The Bengals are coming to him saying, this is something new we trying. He said, no, you won't try this new stuff on me. That ain't how I work.
Yeah, I will say this. The Bengals need to stop playing. You already got Trey Hendrickson over there pissed off, and the man led the league in sacks last year. You don't want to pay him. Now you bring in a first-round talent, and you can't even sign him because you're out here trying to pull these crazy shenanigans. And Shamar Stewart, technically speaking, can sit out and go back into the draft next year.
He can re-enter next year and get traded.
He can pull a Bo Jackson
or get traded. But we wouldn't give him first round because it's already
a second round position.
I'll give up a second for a quality dude.
A second? Take that second.
Dude, that defensive line will be strong.
Yeah, because then, okay, look at it like this. You think about it. From all the hype around Bryce Huff, everybody is talking about his get off and how it's so close to D Fords and everything like that. The number one thing I need Bryce Huff to do, the only thing I want from that you should get from D Ford is to get off. I don't need the injuries to come along.
Get that quarterback, man.
That man had one good year here and was a waste of space the rest of them. You know what I'm saying? And we just got him off the books, too. Just got him off the books for the dead cap money we was paying him.
Yeah, it was a pretty dead hit, man.
That was dead weight for, and all we got was 1 year, and we barely got the full year out of him, even that time. So,
somebody said Ford stands for frequently out, repair daily.
You know, the one I heard was find on the side of the road dead.
And that was, he played that on out, man. We would get him for a game.
It is what it is.
Who else was I talking about? He good for a game and a half, and then 6 games. Yeah, 6 and a half he out. That was that D Ford thing, yeah.
So I'll say this. On defense, I feel like we'll be okay. We got to see how this defensive line gels because there are a lot of moving parts and a lot of new faces. Most likely, you'll probably see vets out there. I do believe that we're going to start the season with Nick Bosa and Bryce Huff as the edges. And I think it is we have the depth to be able to rotate Bryce Huff in and out. The reason that he, I guess they're saying he failed in Philly was because they used him as a stand-up outside linebacker.
Which is not his
packages, and that's not who the dude is.
I broke him down today. If y'all would y'all fancy it and go back and look at Terradome, I did some video analysis of him getting off the ball, Bryce Huff, and drew the similarities of himself and Usain Bolt starting out of the blocks. He's got very good what we call linear explosion. He gets across really fast.
But can he stay healthy?
Very few wasted steps, getting into the efficiency of how good you step. I saw false steps last year with Leonard Floyd, but this kid's, it's no wasted movement, man. He comes out of that 4-point stance like a starter or a sprinter coming out of the blocks, and he makes good steps, and he is on you quick as an offensive lineman. You try to kick step, that dude's almost right beside you, if not by you. This is going to bode very, very well for the San Francisco 49ers.
Yeah. I do believe that's going to work out well. Like what I'm hearing about Nick Martin and Upton Stout, those dudes are looking pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stick with my guy. I like me some D Winters. I know a lot of people are thinking that basically Nick Martin gonna come in there and steal his job, but I don't know. Winters got knowledge and he's got time, and that's there. The secondary, I'm gonna tell you right now, that secondary gonna be nice and scary. The only issue for me is the safety position.
It's a little question mark after those guys are out, man. Because
There's a question mark. We have no Malik Mustafa. Jair Brown took a very big step backwards. And you know what I'm saying? Siegel, another person missing from OTAs and rookie.
I think he's nicked up a little bit.
Yeah, Panaka's the only one out there.
So it looks like, oddly enough, it looks like Michael Williams, CJ West, who else? Watkins
are standing out.
I heard a little bit about Jordan James too. Like
Nick Martin's been okay.
Guys that were really on the field,
I'm hearing Cowens had a good camp. He's put on about 11 pounds of muscle. He's feeling real good about himself. And Austin Pleasant on the offensive line.
He looks in better shape.
A swing.
Okay. Good.
And then there's another guy that's standing out that I'm hearing also. D. Winters is looking pretty damn good. Nick Martin's kind of been a work in progress from my understanding, but it seems like D. Winters might be ahead of the curve right now.
Yeah. I
can understand that.
He should have the edge. Why? Because he's been here. He knows the system. He understands what's going on.
Good. He should.
Now here's the thing: getting him.
Martin looks like he's everywhere on the place.
Yeah, but getting hit, and D. Winters is a sideline guy. He plays the way that they want. Now, here's the thing. I think D. Winters is due for a better season.
I think so. I'm even
under the tutelage of Robert Saleh. I think that here's the thing. And I got to jump back on Kyle again. This all happened because you wanted to help the homie. You can't blame nobody else for picking up Sorensen outside of Mr. Shanahan. That was his guy.
He was over his skis, man. He
was way over. He's way over his head.
He didn't know how to do.
And I know. And here's my thing. Does Kyle get people paid? Oh yeah. Yeah,
absolutely.
He look.
You go from this staff.
They get a job.
You go get a job elsewhere. Guaranteed.
I got you. Come to my university for a little bit, and what Velvet Jones used to say, how to be a hoe. He gonna get you some money.
He gonna get you some money. You gonna have to work hard for it, but you gonna get you some money. But the only thing is this is.
You remember Velvet Jones? CG. The great Eddie Murphy used to play Velvet Jones on Saturday Night Live.
Well, I've seen that old comedy classic, yeah.
Yeah, it's just understanding the dynamics of, hey, you can't always help out the homie. It's not always a good look because it hinders the team. So
it's too much favoritism.
Yeah, and when we have all these right people in the building, now that we do, you're going to expect more. Like I'm going to expect Robert Saleh to be able to pick up where he left off. The good thing for him was in that time off that he had where he wasn't working, he was just doing small stuff. He stayed around football. To be honest,
not the Packers.
What people don't understand, and this is where I'll give even Kyle Shanahan a pass. It's hard being a head coach in the league. It's rough.
It is.
You know what I'm saying? You done seen how everybody's seen that famous picture of Kyle where he got the bags under his eyes. He just looked defeated.
He looked burnt out last year.
He looks like he needed to get some sleep, man.
I thought he was gonna at the end of the year, I thought he was gonna say, "Hey guys, I'm like Dick Vermeil did years ago. Hey, I got to take a step. Man. This thing just." Man,
no, it's hard. It's stressful. It takes time away from your family. There are a lot of things that go on. But
you can look at
like he age 20 years older.
You can look like if you ever look at presidents. When Obama came in, he had black hair. He was jumping in and out of the limousine, smooth. 4 years.
Gray had that change.
4 years. He looked like Morgan Freeman.
Oh God!
I think
the
same thing happens with NFL coaches, dude. That thing wear on you.
But this question is good.
Which one do we think?
From what I'm hearing, honestly, it's Jacob Cowing. I wanted him on the field last year. I really did. I honestly thought that those times that Deebo was out, there was the perfect time to
use Cowing.
Jacob Cowing.
Yeah.
Why? He could do the same things.
But
now, ironically enough, somebody in Washington had the nerve to say Debo looked fast. Let me explain something to you. Debo ain't never been fast. Okay, he's
got game speed.
He's been fast. All right, there's a difference between quick and fast. Okay?
He got that Burger King fast, that Burger King Whopper fast.
I ain't gonna shoot on him like that.
No, he's my boy, but I'm just messing around.
He doesn't have home run speed like that.
But he can make
Hey, on the real, man, 21, 22, 23, Debo running through, running by.
Oh, yeah, no,
Debo was killing it,
man.
He gonna run. Yeah, he gonna run through you.
When them Cowboy fans got online with me and
Dude, he
came
ran
on that
him over.
telephone and said, "Man, we gonna get Debo next year.
Debo took over the game.
Yeah,
He took over that game
in the playoffs.
So who would you think CG would be your wide receiver? Mine is Jacob Cowing. I think he's gonna.
I would have to say Cowan for sure, but you said it. But I'm going to say Jordan Watkins because he's actually more impressive, and he might make a strong push for more opportunities. I mean, he's
a
fast.
receiver. Yeah, I get you that. What
He's
you think, TD?
a traditional wide receiver, kind of in the 6'1", 6'2" mode, running good routes, gonna be there. But I gotta draw it back a little bit because he is a rookie. You know how Kyle do with his rookie.
Kyle could be critical on that one.
Yeah. So I'll go with Cowings. I
guess Cowings obvious.
He knows the system. He's been in it. He's been working with Brock off season, seeing some good things. As a matter of fact, this leads to something I just saw on Pro Football Focus ranks the receiving cores of 32 teams. The San Francisco 49ers are ranked number 5 in receiving cores over the Minnesota Vikings, over a lot of good the Cincinnati Bengals. Let me pull it up.
Oh,
yeah, no, you got to share that.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
First of all, the Cincinnati Bengals, they're 2 starters on their own. Are better than
they got two damn good receivers.
Even a healthy BA. You got Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. Are you serious?
T. Higgins and Jamar Chase, bro. That's crazy.
No. I'm sorry. Not the Cincinnati Bengals. Cincinnati Bengals are 3.
A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith.
But they rank over at number 6 was the Minnesota Vikings, 7 Miami Dolphins, 8 Los Angeles Rams, 9 Chicago Bears, 10 Houston Texans, 11 Falcons. But at number 5, they anticipate the San Francisco 49ers being the 5th best receiving core. One at Philadelphia, 2 is Tampa Bay, 3 is Cincinnati, 4 is the Lions, and 5 San Francisco 49ers.
Let me explain something.
I would put Philadelphia's receivers at number 1.
Jefferson alone
is his own guy. No, but even Jamar Chase had his own. Even
destroys every receiver on our roster.
Even Jamar Chase.
I love JJ. Juwan is my guy. He ain't Justin Jefferson.
Or Jamar Chase.
Jamar
Chase can change the game.
They got them ranked number 3. Jamar Chase and T. Higgins.
Chase Brown,
Mike Gesicki, number 3. Pro Football Focus.
TD, give me the 5 after us.
No, I put Bengals receivers at number 1.
The 5 after us are at number 6, the Minnesota Vikings.
Ooh, okay.
JJ is better than all the receivers.
He's better than all of us right there.
Hey, all I can do, I'm Tom Brokaw, and I'm reporting the news. Number 7, the Miami Dolphins.
Okay, I can understand that. Here's the reason why. Tua. Let me explain that. The reason that I think that is because Tua Tagovailoa has a hard time staying healthy. So the effect of Jalen Waddle and the effect of Tyreek Hill, who was trying to get out of Miami, by the way, the effect of those 2 dudes can't be effective if they don't have the right guy on the field throwing to them. So that's the reason why you can say that they're not as good, because they take a step back because the quarterback ain't never on the dang field throwing the ball. But I'm going to be honest with you. Tyreek Hill, definitely better than any receiver we got.
Yeah. He's the fastest and the best
with the
all
right
around.
guy throwing to him, better than anybody we got.
Even Waddle's good. Even Waddle's good too.
Yeah, Waddle's good too.
All right, number 8, Los Angeles Rams.
Let me
This
say
is
something.
with the
I can see
addition
that.
of Devontae Adams,
Hold on.
Puka Nacua, Tyler Higbee, Jordan Whittington, and Tutu Atwell.
Let me explain something to you right now. Tutu Atwell give us fits every time we face him. He does. And let me explain something else to you. Puka Nacua, that tonguing right there, that is a whole grown man.
Yeah,
And let me
yeah.
explain something to you people.
He's a homegrown Philippine.
I'm gonna say this. You thought Devontae Adams was dead. He ain't.
He might be.
Just needed the right
revived.
quarterback to throw him the damn ball. You put
Stafford is
Devontae
the guy.
Adams, Matthew Stafford. You mean tell me that man ain't gonna have a good season? You better
Yeah,
pick him up
man.
in fantasy because he about to go ape shit.
No, number 9, Chicago Bears. Chicago Bears have DJ Moore, Rome Odunze, Cole
They're
Kmet,
good.
Colston Loveland, Luther Burden has been added to them,
Ooh, they're
and
Debo, right?
Keenan, and they parted ways with Keenan Allen.
Well, let me explain this. You part ways with Keenan Allen because Keenan Allen is older and he's just
And
not
he's slow.
that guy like he used to be. Is Keenan Allen still a viable receiver? Yes. By
Hard for depth
don't ever
coverage.
count him out. You get him on the right squad, he can still do some things for you. But he's not the Keenan Allen of old. All his years
He's not.
that were great were in LA, aka San Diego. But when it comes to the Bears, no. Look, now shout out my dog Breezy. Romo Dunze was one of his guys. There's one thing I remember is Breezy's picks. When he talked about the draft, he hones in.
He loved the skill
on
position.
dudes, and he would tell you how much he loved him. The other dude over there, Jaquan Brisker, the safety, that's his dude too. He loved him to death. But who's the next one?
Number 10 would be the Houston Texans.
Yeah.
Nico Collins.
What about the
leads it.
Cowboys receiver?
Oh,
I
I got to get way
Collins.
down there. Nico Collins, Dalton Schultz is their tight end. Joe Mixon coming out of the backfield. Listen to the newcomers: Jaden Higgins and Jalen Noel from
That's gonna be
Iowa
good.
State, and they brought in Christian Kirk. They got some
Rock
get
wanted
back
those
out
guys.
there. They got some
He
stuff.
wanted those receivers.
Kirk's a good possession receiver.
Yeah.
And he's healthy.
Nico Collins is a good receiver too. But
And
they
I
ain't
wanted-
they ain't
I
better than
wanted-
us.
I like Higgins
Texas got the
and,
best
and
underrated
Noel.
receiver.
Yeah, they got some rookies coming in there. At 11, the Atlanta Falcons. Drake London, Bijan Robinson coming out of the backfield. Darnell Mooney, he had a 74 rating, and Kyle Pitts at tight end.
Ooh, I don't know about
This ain't
that.
been nothing. And they touted
They
that man
don't
to
even
be a
use
great
him.
Tight end. He ain't
was-
been doing nothing.
He was picked
His
like
rookie year, he was
number-
good, but not
eight.
so much.
He was very highly picked. Number 12, the Baltimore Ravens. Zay Flowers, Isaiah Likely at tight end.
They're a bit underrated.
They got Mark Andrews, deservedly landed in the top 25 wide receiver, and running back Justice Hill. They think
Well,
the
here,
Baltimore Ravens.
let me
is
say this.
13.
Behind Kittle, Mark Andrews is one of the better tight ends in the league.
Yeah.
And see, I'm gonna say this, and I always is another hill I'm gonna die on. George Kittle is the best tight end in football. Period. There is no other tight end better than him. You know why? Because George Kittle can do it all. The man is like having the 6th offensive lineman on the
Yeah,
field.
the 6 offensive lineman that can do everything.
Athletic,
There are people
big
that can't do
playability,
that.
stud, make plays in the moment, make extraordinary plays when you need them to.
Very extraordinary. play.
Finds the spot. I'm crazy about Kittle. I'm not going to argue with you there in terms
There's
of being the
nobody.
best.
See, everybody will say
It's him and
Mark
Kelsey.
Andrews was close
Him and Kelsey.
second.
This is what everybody will say. They'll say Travis Kelce. Let me explain something to you about Travis Kelce. Travis Kelce is the best pass catching tight end in the league. There
Not
is
quite
no
a good
dispute.
blocking tight end, no.
But Travis
Yeah,
Kelce.
But
See,
he
I
can
always say this. I look for a complete player. You have to be all encompassing for me to give you a number one spot. You know what I get? You know why Shaq ain't the number one center to me? Because Shaq could only play down low. He couldn't shoot. He couldn't shoot a free throw to save his life. Shaq
He was 50-50. He
Shaq
said he made it when he
dominated
needed
the
to.
paint. There was nobody in the paint better than Shaq.
Dominant
The
force.
man would murder you. You get down there in that paint, good
Dominant
luck.
force. It
He
won't
was a
nobody
monster.
dominate.
Even at his age, he was still dominating.
Dominant
but-
force, man.
But
Dominant.
if you told Shaq to go out there and do something, pull off a Nikola Jokic and shoot a three, that ain't happening.
No,
He ain't doing
no,
that. No, he
no,
was
he-
big.
I
He had no range like
Shaq
Jokic
made
or
one
Dirk.
fadeaway shot his whole career.
And
I
that was
think
like
it
a
was-
miracle. That was
Right, it was like a miracle that shot went in. He was even surprised. You saw him running down the court like
he's like, y'all see that?
Then
That
even on the
counted.
commercials, it was this.
that was as bad as Dennis Rodman shooting the 3 in the finals and then walking down the court doing this.
Oh Lord.
Rodman.
We
So I
have
guess-
we have a lot, but I think we're about an hour 10. I'm gonna ask this question to y'all, and I think we should be able to call it because I know CG.
Yeah, call it a day, man. Like whatever question you want to ask.
Go ahead, brother.
NFC West. I'm gonna say this: Rams 1, Niners 2, Seahawks 3. Seahawks and Cardinals are gonna fight for 3 and 4. Here's my thing: the reason I state that is because we don't know what Sam Darnold is going to be with Jackson Smith and Jigba, because that's all he got. I don't know about the other receivers. I got to highlight my boy Stevie A. Smith to see what's going on with the
Well,
Seahawks.
Cooper Cup, if he can go back to the old Cooper Cup.
Oh, he is up there, isn't he?
Yeah, they
Yeah.
got Cooper.
Oh, okay.
And,
we got-
I
and they
forgot
got
who
my
the other
boy
receiver
Jackson
is.
Smith
And they got my boy Torrey Horton from Fresno, man. He's one of them dudes out there.
Okay.
But then when it comes to the Cardinals, I mean, Marvin Harrison Jr. is all right.
He's
Like first half team,
team.
they look good. They look
Michael-
spectacular.
Michael
Yeah.
Williams ain't too bad. You know, I think they still have James Conner, but I think they might need to start thinking about the future and draft themselves a running back. We drafted Jordan James, and our drafted running backs never work out. So if you want to trade, give us a call. You can take Jordan James, and we'll just go ahead and go with Corey Kiner because he's going to make the squad any damn way because we all
Again,
know how that
yeah.
works.
Conventional wisdom says that undrafted is going to
Free
ball.
agent Running backs live very good in San Francisco.
Yeah, they
do
get
very
paid.
well.
They do
just-
very well. They'll get a big payday elsewhere if they have to.
So, TD, what say you about the NFC West? What do you think?
I think we get it, and we're going to go 4-2. We're going to split with Seattle, and we're going to split with the Rams, and I think we win this division. I'm calling it early. I think we're going to win the division. The Rams will be second, Seattle third, and as usual, the Arizona Cardinals fourth.
Okay.
We got the makings of some good stuff on the second half of this season. We got to get BA back in the building, and that's not going to happen probably till week 8. We'll heal up with Mufasa. Will come back probably around week 6 or 7, and we'll get into a lather. And if all goes healthy, I think we got the makings of something pretty decent. I'm calling it 11-6 for the San Francisco 49ers this year. That's how I think it's going to play out.
What you
Might
think?
be shaky early, but better late.
Oh, what's my prediction? I think Niners and Rams are probably going to compete for first place, of course. But I think by our schedule, we have the easiest schedule compared to the Rams because we're not playing the Philadelphia Eagles or the Baltimore Ravens. So I think we're going to have the edge. Our division record's probably going to be like what Terradone said best, maybe 4-2. But I have us going maybe 13-4. Worst case scenario, 11-6. But I think because our schedule's so favorable. You look at the Rams; they're still going to compete regardless.
Oh yeah, they got a first place schedule, and you got to play the first place.
Look, man,
every division.
that defense for the Rams has gotten better.
Yeah, they've gotten better.
I can never remember who Zero is, but that's a bad dude.
That's verse.
Yeah,
That's Derek Verse. No, actually, no. It's Byron Young.
Oh, that's Byron Young. With verses,
Byron
verses
Young.
number
8 is
8.
Derek Verse.
Verse
Number
is
8 is Derek Verse.
Yeah.
But he good
Yeah.
too. He good too.
Yeah,
So
them Florida State boys can ball.
Before we get out of here, I'm gonna address this very, very quickly. Briscoe,
Okay.
let me explain something to you. You do not, I repeat, and I preface my comments as I always do. My thoughts are my thoughts. None of my thoughts are casted on Terradome and or my guy CG Ruthless.
The comments expressed by Dion.
There you go. Look, TG, see, TD got the disclaimer right.
Yes.
We don't bring you talking about Deshaun Watson.
Hell
No,
no. He would
no.
be terrible.
Deshaun Watson. First of all, Deshaun Watson's career most likely is over. Okay, the guy has not been able to return to who he was since he left Houston. It's very.
He's going to be running like Pete Diddy.
Things that happened. I wish that man nothing but the best in life. You know why? He got money. He ain't
He's
broke.
good.
The Browns have paid that man all kinds of money for no reason.
Guaranteed, fully guaranteed.
He's gonna be running for that Diddy money, man.
On top of that, this is why I preface my comments by stating my thoughts are my thoughts. Kyle Shanahan, black quarterbacks, oil and water. It don't
Ain't
win.
nothing but a Diddy party, right, for
You
him?
won't bring Deshaun Watson here to only have Kyle Shanahan go, what am I supposed to do with that guy? There's
How am I gonna turn this guy around?
Done with him. No, let me explain something to you. Sam Darnold's career is over. You know why? You know the only reason Sam Darnold got paid? Because he looked good in the regular season. He turned into a
With the Vikings, yeah.
deer in headlights in the playoffs. The man disappeared. He wasn't in. He didn't even
The Rams
exist.
exposed him.
I'm not sure if the man even stayed at home. He didn't even show up for the game. Sam
Rams
Darnold in the
exposed him.
playoffs was hot garbage. And let me say this: we all know USC quarterbacks are garbage.
Ooh.
Damn, Tommy, that's gonna be harsh.
Let me tell you this:
I take
the most relevant USC quarterback to date right now in the 2000s is Mark Sanchez.
But Bumble,
Mark Sanchez did go to. He went to a couple of AFC
That man
championships.
went to 2 back-to-back
that AFC championship.
games.
Yeah.
Carson
But he
Palmer
was-
didn't do that when he spent
Carson
all that
Palmer
time
got
with the
injured.
Bengals. John David Booty didn't do anything.
Oh, David Booty, I remember that name.
I'm telling you right now, Caleb Williams, I don't know. We'll see if
We
if
gotta
they
see.
try to turn him
We
into
gotta
a
see.
star.
Matt Barkley was nothing more
USC
than
quarterbacks typically in the league don't do very well.
they don't do
And
so
I'm
well.
not
Yeah.
giving that to you because I hate USC, even though I do with the passion, because I'm a diehard UCLA guy. But at the end of the day, I'm going based off of history and facts. And you cannot
Consistency,
dispute
yes.
that. These guys from SC, when they come into the league, they're not
Carson Palmer turned out
that
as
good
the
as
best.
far as the quarterbacks. Matt Castle got drafted, people, and the man never barely.
And he didn't even
played
play a single down.
Didn't even play it down. The man barely was running the scout squad.
He got paid.
SC, this is
He
what
had a
SC
better
does.
career.
Let me explain something to you. If me, TD, and CG were all playing at USC, do you understand the minute, the second, the fraction of a second, the millisecond they think that we don't do it? There's another guy behind us that can.
Always.
SC
Always.
There's always
stockpiles
that.
talent consistently. Alabama stockpiles talent consistently. Georgia stockpiles talent. There are
Yes.
places where the minute you get injured, if you don't believe me, I will give you a simple scenario, and it was true. This is real life. Jalen Hurts. Everybody gave up on that man when he got his injury, and everybody thought Tua was the greatest thing going. You know what Jalen did? He left and said,
He
I
took
don't
the shot.
care. I'll go somewhere else and I'll still ball. And you
Took
know what
the shot.
Jalen's got? He's got a Super Bowl ring when nobody
Oh, he got
believed
it.
in
He
him.
proved it.
So
He didn't want to
if
sit behind
you
Tua.
have to think about it, man. And I'm
Yeah.
sorry, it's certain things. Let me tell you something, Briscoe. Everybody saw the Vikings making the playoffs. You know why? Because they were having
'Cause they were
a
stacked.
fantastic damn season. They
Yeah.
balled. The regular season, are you serious? Sam Darnold had one of the greatest seasons of his career.
Solid offensive line, good coaching, great receiving core.
Exactly.
And
They thought he was,
and Sam Donald, and to Sam Donald's credit, he
Yes,
he
sir.
said,
Yes,
man,
sir.
I learned a lot sitting behind number 13
Orange down.
last year. That he gave me some insight. Get this ball out, get it to them playmakers, and shut the F up. Don't
But you
just
know
get it
what
out
he
your
seemed to
hand.
miss? You know what he missed learning?
What's
He missed
that?
learning how to win in the playoffs, baby, because that's what Brock
Oh,
did.
yeah.
Brock has done that. And
Hey,
you
so-
know the crazy thing?
Brock says, I taught you everything you know, not everything.
You just can't win a
I
playoff
know."
game.
He quoted Apollo Creed. You didn't think I was
Yeah.
going to catch that. That's
I
Apollo.
taught you everything you
That's
know,
Apollo Creed right
not
there.
everything I know.
Yeah, I mean, he even if he voted in the regular season versus the Lions, it didn't make a difference. They still balled out. Like, he had a really good season. He just failed in the playoffs. But, hey,
And dude, the offensive line wasn't even the problem. It was the Rams D line that exposed them.
yeah, very much so. They just got after him.
Rams
9
stepped it up
sacks.
on defense.
Damn.
At this point in his
Rams defense
career,
got
Briscoe, yes, Sam Darnold unfortunately is better than Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, he is.
Unless Deshaun can magically wake up the old Deshaun from Houston, Sam Darnold is the better quarterback. He would be the better option at this point. Yes.
Nah, Deshaun Watson is a wash of an old self where he can't even be his old self, bro. He's
And
already
I
focused
saw him
more on the
on
Diddy
Twitter.
party.
I saw him on Twitter. Oh, everybody's counting me out. And y'all think I'm done and this, that, and the third. Sir, let me explain something to you.
Cleveland looks done with you.
There is another black quarterback in Cleveland that's about to take your job, and his name is Shedeur Sanders. Son of
Is he?
Deion
Hearing good
Sanders.
things.
I
Hearing good
guarantee
things.
you, I'm hearing nothing but beautiful
Hearing
things
good
out
things.
there. And what you know what kills me is this is the reason why I didn't believe all of the BS coming from the media about Shedeur, because that young man is there. He's quiet and he's humble and he's quietly out there just making a lot of noise.
Shedeur can play, man.
His job.
Shedeur can play. Shedeur can play.
He can
Understanding his
He's
position.
good.
You don't see him
He's good.
crying. You don't see him complaining. He ain't out there. I should be the starter. Y'all don't know
Show
who I
my
am.
watch.
My last name Sanders. He's not doing
He's good.
none of that. He's
He's
not
good.
flashing watches. He's
He's
not
showing
doing
his watch.
any of that. The man is
Somebody got them comeback victories. Somebody went to 2 universities, one being the HBCU. Somebody got trained by the GOAT. Somebody had Tom Brady in his ear.
Oh, yeah, Tom Brady.
Somebody
But
did
Tom Brady didn't
all
even
of that.
draft him.
That is a polished cat, man. He is a
How come Brady
polished
didn't
cat.
draft him?
And I know y'all don't. I
You
know
know
they
why?
don't like because he's black.
Sure.
CG because he's black and he's cocky and his name is Sanders. That's why.
Exactly.
That's the elephant in
That's
the
why,
room.
okay.
We just don't like a Negro acting like he acted. That's what it was all about.
That's what it
But if you
was?
go pure standpoint of passing, understanding past concepts, getting the ball out your hand,
His complete
doing it
percentage
on the
was good.
move, that is Shedeur Sanders. He's really, really good.
No,
Not
but he
better
got the
than my
best
guy.
complete percentage.
My guy from the U though, Cam Ward is
Cam
going
Ward.
to
I
be
knew- I
fire.
knew he was gonna do it.
That's
I knew he was
not-
gonna do it.
that's
But this-
not-
Nah,
here's-
but
the
yeah,
thing.
but
Here's the thing with it. With Shedeur, his confidence is looked at as cockiness.
arrogant.
it seems like.
When you
They
get a
used to-
Caucasian player,
They
that's
yeah.
passion.
Oh, yeah.
When Johnny Manziel
fire.
did it, nobody tripped about it.
You just
That's-
have to
that's
understand
fire.
the
Oh, yeah.
competitive fervor that lives in him.
Oh,
When
look
you
at
get a black quarterback that's that confident because he's saying, I've been to several places and done this, baby. I'm that guy. You
Hey.
turn that around as a negative. But why?
They didn't have a problem with
is
Johnny
that?
Manziel saying that shit.
Hey, Deion, they use a word called uppity.
No, but what about Johnny Manziel when he did that, man? They didn't take. He could have been a red flag.
Johnny
He
Manziel
could
was
have
snorting more cocaine than Scarface in the end scene
Hey,
of the movie Scarface.
yeah.
That boy
Johnny
was
Manziel,
messed
hey,
all
I
up.
don't care what nobody says. If I ever went to college, I just want Johnny Manziel's college life. That man lived.
I want the
best life.
Heisman. I want the stadium, or
He
I want the
was
statue.
He was
off
throwing that thing
the
around.
chain.
He was
That
the
man did
you had
everything.
he was must see TV in college. Down
Yeah, he was Johnny Football, man.
that dude was Johnny Football, man.
He
That,
was the
that-
kind of guy you wanted to take with you in the parties, man.
he was
Hey, you
putting
couldn't
up
tell
40
him
on
nothing.
Alabama like it was
Johnny be
nothing.
good, man.
Yeah, man. That was when Alabama was the juggernaut. And
he
Johnny
beat 'em.
Football said, I'm gonna put the 45 on you. Take that, Nick Saban. Y'all gonna go home. And it was at least 6 NFL starters over there. Johnny
he
was
put 'em.
putting it on. Yeah. And he had the
He just
incredible
wasn't-
Mike
he-
Evans too.
He just wasn't focused when he got into the NFL.
Exactly. Off the field.
Al didn't even want to
You
work
going
with
to
him.
Vegas, and that nullified everything. I knew he would start because of just the pure talent, but I ain't know about all those demons the way he was doing it, man. I
There is
watched
reports
that.
that
Check that Netflix out.
That
Netflix
special was very
man,
eye-opening.
Johnny was
there
doing.
was a lot of
Oh.
speculations on those reports that Kyle refused to play Johnny Manziel.
Yeah, Kyle couldn't stand him.
Oh no, yeah.
Kyle left Cleveland. Kyle said, "No, I ain't."
No, they benched Hoyer. Hoyer got benched. They went with Johnny Manziel. And Kyle said, "I'm leaving after this."
I'm going.
Look at it like this. What did Kyle do when he first came here? Instead of him drafting a quarterback, he brought in his boy
Hoyer. Yeah.
Why? And what did we do with Brian Hoyer? We set a record for the most games lost by 3 points.
Yeah.
Hoyer, man. Hoyer.
Until we decided to make the switch to CJ Beathard and randomly won a game against the Giants.
Yeah.
You remember Nick Mullins?
Nick Mullins, the one
Nick
that
Mullins.
tortured the Raiders, right? I was at that
Yeah,
game.
Right. Yeah, man. Nick Mullins.
I was at the Battle of the Bay game too.
Okay. Yeah, you was in the mix.
Yeah.
Hey, we gonna shut it down there, man.
For sure,
We'll have
man.
more for y'all. We'll take a look at the final thoughts from training camps and stuff. Get some reading in, get some things in, and have come back with more content. But we appreciate everybody for tuning in, whether you're on my channel, TD's channel, CG's channel. Please like and subscribe to all three if you have not yet. Both of these gentlemen above me give great content consistently. TD is out there weekly giving it to him. CG is out there every week giving it to him. And definitely subscribe to CG because CG goes on a variety of things. This ain't just football with him. This man will have somebody on random that you didn't think you could get on YouTube. Somehow, some way, CG done found a way to get him on it. I don't know, but he does.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
CG will come up with Benjamin Netanyahu today on CJ Rufus.
Right.
What in the world?
All right,
Yeah,
man.
I
But
tell you, we
we'll look
appreciate
forward to
everybody
next week, man.
tuning in, though.
We'll look forward to
Thunder
next
up,
week, guys.
thunder up. Okay.